Welcome, everybody. I apologize for having everybody wait. I like to meet with the family in chambers to go through kind of the legalities and maybe some more personal discussion. And we actually were having so much fun, and the stories were so good, I kind of lost track of time. So I hope I wasn't making you all nervous by having you wait. So we are here today for the very special occasion of celebrating the adoption of King Weatherspoon. So as I explained in chambers, this is a very significant event for you and for Marlene. And Marlene hasn't done this before. So for all the children that have been through her life, this is amazing that it's a first-time event for both of you. And it's a beautiful day, and our parking lot is finally open, so this is going very well so far. So as I explained in chambers, the significance of this day is really like we're all at the hospital and you're being born. We're waiting to, as I said, count your toes and fingers and see if there's dimples and all of those good things that we do, because the relationship between you and Marlene as a result of this adoption will be as if you were born to her. And from talking just for the little bit in my office, I do not think Marlene could love you anymore if you had been born to her as a beautiful bouncing little baby boy. So, as I said, what makes this even cooler is, we don't always get to pick our children when they're born to us. They kind of just come as they are. But Marlene, for all do you know how many children you have fostered? Too many to count.
No.
But of all the children that have come through your home and that you have loved and cared for, this one was different. And that's what you explained to me. This was different, and in so many ways. And I rarely, I think I've had a couple of cases where we knew that a child was not going to live because of the birth circumstances, and we wanted to get the adoption done before that happened. But in this case, when you and King found each other, King was in dire straits, and look at you now. Look at you now. Amazing. Amazing. One of the things, and I don't know if any of you were letter writers. I know I have some beautiful letters of recommendation that are a part of the file, telling me why Marlene is suitable to be the legal mother of King. But the first thing I asked King when he came in is, do you feel loved? I hope you feel it, because the amount of support that is apparent to me from the file, from seeing the people here. If you ever have a down day and you're not sure if you're loved, believe me, the judge is telling you you are loved. Okay. So there's a lot of representatives from the county here, and I didn't ask in chambers who wanted to address the court, and you may all want to share a little bit. Jennifer, you did the home study, I think. Yeah. So I'll start with you and ask what your recommendations are with regard to this petition for adoption.
Well, before we did the model shift, I heard I'm getting, this kid King, and I'm like, when is he coming upstairs? And so he didn't, and then the model shift, and so when I went to my new department, and since I was an assessor, they're like, well, you're gonna work with this family. And so so literally a year later, and that's what we were saying sitting here, the adoption is finalizing. It's just not enough to say King he's a wonderful young man. I don't want to say kid. Young man. And Miss Marlene, like she said, she's on 10 all the time, and that's what King needed. Great mother. He's loved by all of her family, and anybody who's around could tell you that. Well, King's loved by everybody. I don't know anybody, but really just Miss Marlene's very committed. In their relationship, they're quirky. So they fit one another perfectly. So it's been a joy working with them, and I know King is like, we're finally here, because it took some time, but we're here, and so I recommend the adoption.
Thank you. Again, I enjoy, as I explained, we get very nosy. My job is simply to find that adoption is in King's best interest. So as much as I like you, Marlene, and I just met you and you are fabulous, This is all about King at the moment, so forgive me.
I'll accept that.
But the law tells me, that my decision needs to be in King's best interest. So we do get very nosy, and I know, your housekeeping standards, and I know your health, and I know your relationships, and we get very nosy, and you're used to that, because when you made a decision, how many years ago, 40 years ago, to foster, you opened your doors and said, here I am, take me as I am, because you have been scrutinized all those years as to your parenting skills and all of that. So I go through that, and I know what to look for routinely, but the letters that people write really tell me kind of the true story. And there was a letter from Heather Burton, Dr. Burton, and she's not here. Just really kind of encapsulated everything, and we talked about this in my office. Which I had to laugh, because talk about in a lot of ways, in most ways, you're probably not a typical teenager. But when Marlene brought you into her home and said, we're going to go to church on Sunday, and your reaction was, I'm not getting up on Sunday morning. I don't want to do that. And then, that's what I guess we would have. And Marlene won that fight, didn't she?
She did. I win most of it.
And so not only did you get up and go, but you became very involved in the church, and you've grown in that way and in so many ways. Just your talents and all your hidden talents are no longer hidden. So probably the funniest thing I heard this morning is that, let's not build them up too much. It's Mom's job to keep them grounded and keep that head. But just the laughter. I mean, that just tells me so much. I can just tell you both have just a relationship where you enjoy each other. And you probably push each other, right?
Yes.
Because Marlene has never met someone like you, King, of all the kids that she has had through her home. But really, just really a beautiful story. And I have you're happy to be here. You told me that. Yes. You're ready for this. It's great to have the school here, because the story about the school is also pretty cool. Like, why didn't you choose the least attainable goal to start with? Let's just start there, right?
And we get in the first time.
So it's not.
We literally sat at our dining room table and looked up good schools, and then Hawken came up. I was like, oh wow, this looks nice. Let's try it.
I can't wait till you start looking at colleges. I mean, might as well start hitting up those Ivy Leagues. Your face is like.
Well, no, because my best friend's daughter is a dean at Harvard.
Okay.
She's one of the deans at Harvard.
Wow.
So it's like when I was talking to Ella, I was talking to her, and she was like, oh, he says, just get him here. I said, let's get him through high school. Yeah. And I was explaining to her. She said, oh, don't worry about it. Just get him into a good school.
Right.
And good school is understatement when you describe home.
Well, and I liked your comment, King, that, I mean, you're gifted, but this isn't easy for you. Physics was not, the best time of your life, right?
That was not easy.
So you know what your gifts are, but then you work very hard at the other pieces of your life that take more work. And the willingness to do that, you have worked so hard. I mean, I know what Marlene has done, but what you have done, it's a team, because you've had to do an awful lot of work, and you have improved physically, spiritually, intellectually. I mean, in a very short amount of time. You're 15. It usually takes 15 years to get where you are, and I think in 3 years, you made up for the first part of your life. So it's amazing. It's a great story. I'm glad I get to be a part of it. So the moment you've been waiting for, because the one battle Mom is not going to win, she doesn't want the gavel. But I told King,
I
told King, absolutely, he gets to have the final ceremony.
Oh, please.
I apologize, but that's a part of the gig.
That's all power he needs.
At least I'm not giving him a wooden one.
Okay.
Well, this is, has been a special treat for me for so many reasons. It's fun to have an adoptee who's old enough to kind of understand what's going on and be a part of it. It's fun to have a case where the county, not always the most flexible, accommodating entity for reasons that we're all bound by law, but to be able to say in a case that needs it, we're gonna do everything we can do to make this happen, that's remarkable in and of itself.
They have. They've gone above and beyond. They really have.
Yeah, that's a, we need to hear that, and that's a great thing.
I do want to say that I really, like, couldn't have done any of this without Miss Jennifer and Miss Mallory and Zena and Caitlin. Like, they were so important because well, first of all, Mallory got me to Miss Marlene, and then, like, I just had so much to learn. I had so much to do, and I knew I wanted to then, and that was only one piece of it because they just showed me what I could do before I knew I could do it, and that was so important, and it was so instrumental to getting here today. So thank you, all of you, so much.
Thank you for saying that. I usually make people cry at these. I'm not usually the one getting all teary-eyed. And the significance of saying thank you, because all of us that have been in the trenches for a lot of years, there's a lot of frustrations, a lot of limitations to what we can do, even though we want to do good. So to see that we finally got it right, and it's not the only time we got it right, but to be appreciated for that is pretty cool. So thank you for that. So let's make you official, okay? I have reviewed the file there and heard the recommendations of the county, and there is no doubt in my mind that this adoption is in the best interest of King. So it is really, truly an honor to be able to grant the petition filed by Marlene Elaine Jackson for the adoption of King Antoine Lamont Weatherspoon. Congratulations, you are mother and son. You did it.
Now you're supposed to hug and kiss me.
Okay, I love you.
How about, do I get this? Aww.
And now you know what you get to do. You get to be the judge, and you do get to. Yeah, come on, now. Eddie will show you how to go.
Oh, gosh. Somebody taking a picture.
So you can't.
Oh, I get to take one home?
Can't cause too much trouble in that.
I get a toy apple. That's so nice.
Next class, you get is stressing you out. That's your
I'm surprisingly
stress
yes,
reliever, okay? But you sit here, you be the
That's
judge,
so
and
nice.
you do the real one. And within reason, you can order anything you want.
Now,
Okay?
hold on to your roll.
I just want to tap it because
you
I've never.
How cool is that, right?
That's so fun. Do you get to do this every day?
Well, not really.
It's just really
There's
fun.
days I want to do that, but it wouldn't be appropriate.
It's really fun.
King, look up.
Oh, hi. Okay.
Gavel.
With the gavel.
Oh.
And then I'll get out of the way.
Do I
And the
hold it?
judge, there you go. She also was. Until the little girl stole her car. Her new car. That's it, I'm done.
Oh my god.
The story is hilarious. That looks like my car.
Oh my god, that was. Oh my god.
Yes,
Okay,
it's-
alright.
Marlene, I thought it was my car going down the street.
Here's your ceremonial certificate. We had to make sure we have the name. I am going to follow you on Instagram.
She told me to push it so something happened.